This is my story from $1,000 to 8 million in like 6 years or something. But my name is Sebastian Georgiou. Welcome to my video. Welcome to my channel. Most of you probably don't know who I am because I intend for this video to go viral. And in this video, I'm going to tell all of you guys about exactly how I went from $1,000 to $8 million. Now, keep in mind, my parents are from a communist country. They're from Romania. They moved here in 1988. They came with absolutely nothing. My dad, he worked hard when he moved here and he built up some money, but he lost everything in 2008. My parents got divorced and my mom was uneducated and did not speak good English. So she worked at Wendy's. She worked as a maid, cleaning people's houses, and she received very little income. We grew up in Detroit with her and my 3 older siblings living in a 2-bedroom apartment in a pretty ghetto area, not being able to afford much, obviously. So that's the starting point to now. I'm 23 years old. I have my dream car, my Audi R8 V10 Plus, completely paid off. My truck completely paid off. I'm building my dream house. It's a $3 million house. That's completely taken care of and done. I have a 7-figure company, a Google Ads agency actually, which I made another video on. And I don't know, this is stupid, but like I fly first class everywhere. Like I travel a lot. I'm able to spend a lot of money and just do really cool things like buy watches and stuff. I paid off my mom's car. I bought my family a trip to Hawaii. And so it's great. It's been fun. And the journey from where I started to where I am now was an incredible journey. And I'm so excited to tell you guys about it. Let's just get into it. I just wanted to give you guys an update. So it all started in like 2005 and 2006. I had this idea that poisoned my mind. And it was this idea that I needed to be wealthy. This was given and programmed to me throughout my childhood because I would constantly hear my mom say over and over and over again, nu avem bani, which is we don't have money in Romanian. Nu avem bani, nu avem bani. So like it haunted me. And I noticed that a lot of the times growing up, like kids would ask me why I don't have cooler shoes or different clothes. And it would be because we didn't have money. And I remember like I couldn't even afford when I went out with my friends, my mom couldn't give me money and I couldn't buy food and they just looked at me weird. So there was a lot of embarrassment associated with the fact that we didn't have money growing up. And so I wanted to fit in and I wanted to be a normal person, a normal kid, like any kid does. So from a very young age, I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to make a lot of money because I understood the pain that it caused me. And I saw what normal, I guess, was like. That's when it started. That's where it came from. I remember one time a couple of years later, I was actually in 6th grade or 7th grade and the electricity in my house went out. My mom couldn't afford the electricity bill. And like, I understood what was going on at the time, but since we didn't have electricity, I couldn't use the stove to cook food, before school. So I actually lit up a candle and fried an egg on the candle, which took forever and it didn't really work out. And I think I ended up throwing it away anyway, but it was just something that stood out. And I remembered, I was like, damn, like I can't even fry an egg. Like this sucks. So yeah, that's one story that stands out a lot to me. And it's a story that some of my like OG fans might know, but I wanted to bring that up again because I think that's a good staple in my childhood. Like from there to here, it's great. Like it's cool. I remember at some point during that age, I wanted to become a neurosurgeon because neurosurgeons make a lot of money and they help people. I remember reading that they make like $350,000, $400,000 a year, which at the time seemed like quite a lot of money. So that's what I was going to do forever. I actually ended up like drawing art about it and really getting into it. I had made a decision that eventually, since I'm gonna have to pay for my own college, I'm gonna have to be a nurse and then I'm gonna save money, pay off my debt, and then eventually put myself through med school and then go and become a neurosurgeon. So that was my plan from before I was even in high school. Now, fast forward a few years, I go to high school, I go through puberty and whatever, make some friends, and I get my first job at Taco Bell and KFC. And I start making about, what is it, like $8.25 an hour or something like that. I remember my first paycheck was $90 and I was like, damn, like I can go and buy like a shirt from Vans. I can go and like buy new shoes. Like it was incredible, such a good feeling. So I got my first taste of money, my first lick of it at Taco Bell, and I was like, I want more of this. I didn't work there for very long, and I heard about a car wash job where people get paid a lot in tips. So it was the same hourly, but you get tips every day. So I went to the car wash and I started vacuuming my life away, making like, I think it was $8 or $9 an hour, and then walking away with like between $20 and $50 every day in tips. So making better money there. I did that for some time. I was continuing to save up and grind, and then I went and got a sales job, like a auto glass sales job at the car wash. So I was selling people's windshield. And now at this time I was making like about $300 to $500 per week. So I was still doing pretty good for my age. I was still in high school at this time, but I was saving up everything and trying to build up as much money as possible. My only goal was to get a G35 so I could show off to all my friends. And that's eventually what I did end up buying. So I was very proud of myself that I was able to get that car in high school. And I was definitely like, like kind of a cool kid because, the G35. So I suppose that's where like my love of attention motivation. I suppose that's where it comes from. Anyway, I started saving enough money, and then eventually I had enough to flip cars. Now, just a quick thing, I'm skipping a lot of stories. Like I sold muffins at school, I flipped go-karts, I worked a caregiving job as well, but I'm just skipping those. They aren't as interesting. Anyway, fast forward, I started flipping cars. So I actually had 9 cars by the time I was 19. I was doing pretty decent with that. Now here's a checkpoint in my life. This is like the introduction to my life right before everything starts to get crazy, right? So at this time in my life, I probably had between like $5,000 to $10,000 to my name. I had a tiny bit of experience making money, and I was just about to discover dropshipping and real estate and all that stuff. I was just about to get into that world, that realm. So I go home and I run into Graham Stephan on YouTube. So Graham Stephan is a real estate agent. He sells homes, saves the money, buys rental properties, rents them out, and collects passive income. And I was like, yo, I want to do that. I don't actually want to work. I want to have freedom to do whatever I want and be rich. Like that's what I want. That's what everybody wants, right? So I discovered that and I was like, I'm going to be a real estate agent, like pause on med school, straight up real estate. So after I made my decision, I dropped out of college, which I had enrolled in 2 weeks prior. Now I go to real estate school and I'm like, yo, when I'm not selling a house, how am I going to make money in the meantime? So I go online and I'm like, how to make money online? Boom. Discover dropshipping. Dropshipping just started getting popular at the time, and I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna try dropshipping. Long story short, my first store doesn't work, but I ended up finding some smaller YouTubers that give me great advice, and I start my first dropshipping store, and that store actually turns out and makes me about $35,000 in revenue. So I'm like, damn, this is dope. I'm gonna do it again, but instead of Instagram influencers, I'm gonna do Facebook ads. So I start more stores, and I'm running them on Facebook, on Instagram, doing everything that I can, learning as much as I can, and making a lot of money. And I remember like this was the point in time where I was working as a caregiver and also dropshipping and also doing like real estate. And I was like, okay, dropshipping is doing well. I remember like my first $400 day and my first 1K day and my first 2K day. And then eventually I quit caregiving. And then eventually I quit real estate and went full-time into dropshipping. So I was doing dropshipping for some time, making some good money there. And then I posted my first YouTube video. What is going on, guys? My name is Sebastian, and today I'm going to show you how I generated $700 in income in one day in only my second week of Shopify. Because I left a comment on Thaddeus's video and I was like, yo, this video was super helpful. Thank you. I just made like $10,000 because of this. And people were like liking it and being like, yo, who are you? How'd you do this? Because everyone was curious about dropshipping. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I can help some more people. Anyway, I make a YouTube channel and I tell people to come subscribe, and they do. And I start growing on YouTube. So YouTube is growing very like linearly, very slowly. And then I post my first viral video, how I made $991 in 14 hours. And for some reason that video popped up. It was ranked #1 for Shopify for a long time. A lot of people saw it and it got like 300,000-400,000 views, and it really like became the backbone of my channel. So I started making money off ad revenue. I started making money off affiliate deals. And then eventually I got the idea to make my first course and teach people like the preliminary stages of how to dropship and everything that I've learned up to this point and put it together in one course for $300. So I did that. I remember when I launched the course and I told everyone about it, I was like, you know, it's probably going to get like 10 sales or like 5 sales or something. The first day I launched it, like I launched at 8 p.m. and then I was just driving with my friend, like looking at really cool houses, like just manifesting, which ironically, we were trying to get into the neighborhood that I'm building my house in right now. That's actually crazy. I just realized that. During that night, we were trying to get into that neighborhood, and now I literally have a home there. Anyway, I got a sale, and then I got another sale, and then I got another sale, and I ended up making like $1,500 pure profit. So I was like, damn, like this is crazy. I'm making decent money for my age. I was like, this is really cool. I kept on growing my YouTube channel, kept on getting ad revenue, kept on drop shipping, kept on doing everything, and just my income started going more and more and more and more and more. Now, fast forward to about 19 years old. My net worth at this point is about 70 to 80,000. That's what I have saved. And this is like where everything in my life starts changing, because now I'm making good money and I'm able to like go out and do anything I want and travel and spend money. So naturally, what a 19-year-old boy is going to do when you give him money is he's going to buy a GTR. So I bought my dream car, which is a Nissan GTR, and it was like my first trophy, my first like staple of success in my life. I continue to work on my stores. I continue to grow on my YouTube channel, and everything was great. And I did this for some time until I like got like 120, 130, 150K in my bank saved up, just continuing to hustle. And then I got really comfortable. I was just chill. I was like, okay, well, now what do I do? Fast forward some time, because at this point in my life, I was really unhealthy. I was out of shape. I got comfortable. I'm like, I think 21 years old at this time. And I decide after taking a break from dropshipping to get back into dropshipping for real, like to take it more seriously than I ever have, to create a legitimate brand. Now I have funding. Now I have more money to play with. So like I can afford to spend more money on research and development and create like a really good brand. So that's what I do. When you guys saw that video, how I made 36K in a day, those were the stores that I was running at the time. time, they were generating like $10,000 a day. It was amazing. Like I was making a lot of money from dropshipping. It was really fun and I really enjoyed it. And that was my biggest store to date. At this time, I also took a break from YouTube because I felt a lack of privacy in my life. So I was just focusing on dropshipping. After that unhealthy phase of my life, I started going to the gym and started losing weight and becoming more healthy. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you've probably seen videos of like me like aging in reverse because I was getting healthier and healthier and losing weight. That was that period of my life from like 20 to 21 years old. Now at this point in my life, my net worth was like between a couple $100 grand, $500,000 of some sort. It was somewhere in there. I don't remember exactly. This was another checkpoint in my life. The end of 21 years old. It was cool. It was a good time. And then we all know what happened, but a disease came across the world. My lease was up at the house. I broke up with my girlfriend that I was dating for 5 years. Everything was closed, so I didn't know what to do. So I just moved back to my mom's house and I just lived with my mom and my brothers in her house and I played video games. And I was depressed about my girlfriend and I was just kind of like sitting around with a bunch of money, not doing anything. And eventually I got sick of it. So I decided to start a Google Ads agency, which is the 7-figure company that I own now, and started putting a lot of attention into that. And then I got interested in flipping a house. So I was like, I have this money. I'm going to put some of it down and put it to work. So I bought my first house for $310,000. I renovated it for 3 months with my brother. And then I sold it 5 days after we were done for $411,000. So that was really fun. I decided it was time to get back into YouTube because YouTube has been a great revenue for me in my life and a great source of friends and network. So I was like, I'm going to get back on YouTube and try to take it really seriously this time. I started going to jiu-jitsu and started going to the gym like really consistently. And I really wanted to improve my health and become like a better man. So this was like the molding part of my life when I was like 22. This is like where I turned into a warrior, or like the beginning of my warrior journey. I sold that house, like I mentioned, and I took that check for 127 grand and I bought a piece of property in that neighborhood that I was driving, or I was trying to get into when I was younger, but that neighborhood that I'm now building my house in. My agency at this point was doing amazing. It was growing every single month. We had hired employees, they started running it, and I was able to step out of the business and start growing it. So we went from making 8K a month to making 15 to making 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, and so on. It was just doing great. I started making a lot of money. I started investing in cryptocurrencies. I started trading. I remember during the March crash, I had a massive short position open and I was up $30,000 on it. And I woke up in the middle of the night right before everything went like mayhem. And I was like, I had this just intuition to short. Like I was just like, short the market right now, just like be aggressive. And so I like doubled my position size and I was awake like from 5 a.m. till 6:30 a.m. and I watched everything just crumble. And I watched my position go from $30,000 profit to like $75,000 profit or something like that. And I closed it out and I was like, damn. I was like, dude, I just made like $40,000 at 6 a.m. I was like, what's going on? I started investing in a bunch of other coins. I turned like a $30,000 investment into 600K. I got really into that world. I bought some new cars. So I bought a Range Rover and then that was a piece of crap. So I ended up buying a Porsche 911 and I got rid of the GTR because I wanted to change my identity. I wanted to become a new person. At this point in my life, I don't know what my net worth was, but I was certainly doing very well. And I was just like, damn, like life's good. Like at this point, life is just good. And as you make more money, like it's easier to make even more money. It's very exponential. It's very like money compounds. So it was interesting to like be 22 and now I can really do whatever I want to do. This was a very good time in my life when I started to transform. This is the next checkpoint. And then the next phase of my life is the current phase that I'm in. And it's the most exciting phase. So now we are here. My friend got me into NFTs. I started flipping NFTs. I started trading NFTs. I made videos about NFTs. I started advising on some projects. I got into the NFT world and I was continuing in the crypto world, staking, doing all these things. My agency was doing amazing and I was investing and it was doing amazing. And it seemed like just everything was doing well. YouTube was growing a lot. I was doing more sponsorships on YouTube. So I'm just making like a lot of money right now. This was like months ago. So this led me directly to where I'm at now, which is I'm 23. I bought my dream car, which is R8. You know, I dropped 176,000 on it, just cash. I bought my truck. I completely funded my entire house. It's completely done and paid for. Now I just have to pay the mortgage, but that whole process has started and so on and so forth. Now we're here and I don't know what the net worth is. Like I said, 8 million in the title. I don't know what it is. It probably fluctuates a lot every single day, but it's between 6 and 8 million. It's something like that, using a higher number because clickbait. So life's good. We're doing really well and the future looks extremely promising. I'm very excited. But yeah, that's basically my story. And that's kind of like step by step how I did it. I started a lot of businesses. I tried a lot of things. I tried investing. I failed along the way. I got sued at one point. I got scammed for 30 grand at one point. So many failures in those years, but overall we kept pushing, we kept persisting, and now we have an amazing trajectory and I'm super excited for the future. And like I said, I'm making this video for new people because my channel right now is growing exponentially. I just want everybody that's new to my channel to, you know, I want to shake their hand and say, hello, my name's Sebastian. This is who I am. This is what I've done. And welcome to my channel. I hope you stick around because I think that I'm going to do some incredible things in my life and I want to be a source of light, a source of inspiration for anybody that thinks that they can't do it, because I certainly felt the same way. I think that by putting this kind of content out on the internet, I can maybe get through to some people that like think like I do, that have like that feeling that they want to get wealthy and that they're like embarrassed for some reason because they don't have money, or they want to fit in, and they feel and they believe like they can do it. If I can get through at least a few people and get them to change their life and they end up making something amazing, that would totally be worth it for me. And I don't want it to seem like I'm bragging about anything. I'm very chill filming this video. I'm just telling you exactly what it is. I don't have a course. I shut that down many years ago. I don't have anything to sell you. If you have a business making, $50,000 a month and you need Google ads, please hit me up. We can make some money together there, but I'm not going to make any money off this except for the ad revenue. So it's like, this is just me. This is who I am, and I'm putting this out on the internet for everyone to see. So yeah, that's it. It's been a pleasure meeting all of you. If you see me in person, say what's up, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Peace.